Hello everyone, I'm Mery Zimny from Dworek Białoprądnicki, and I have a big pleasure of talking to a great artist who was supposed to play for our 45th anniversary of our institution, but unfortunately this concert was cancelled for obvious reason, and that's why I will talk to the mentioned artist, which is Yshai Afterman, Israeli percussionist, composer, singer, and also songwriter. Hello, Yshai.
Hey, Mary, thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good. These are crazy days for all of us. It's a very special and rare occasion.
Yeah, actually.
But I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask how you spent the last difficult months. It was a creative time for you, or stressful, or maybe you tried to rest a little bit?
It was creative. Well, all of my concerts were cancelled, so I focused on studying. I study piano now. I practice a lot of piano, and I'm working on the third CD. We're gonna record it hopefully soon. So I was working on that a lot, and just sitting in my studio, which you can see just part of it behind me, and practicing, searching, studying a lot. So, and also teaching. I teach online students from around the world. So I was lucky from that point of view.
Yeah, I understand. I know that you've been in Poland for sure once, but not because of concert, but workshop, right?
Yes, I gave a weekend masterclass in the end of January.
Okay.
It was very good, very good. But I visited Poland quite a few times for concerts in the past in different projects that I was collaborating with. And it's always been a big pleasure for me. I think the audience in Poland is very, very sensitive, and I don't know if educated is the right word, but the people really like to enjoy music and listen. So it's I was very, very frustrated in a way that my first concert of my music was cancelled. But it will be.
Yeah, we really wanted show your music to our audience because it's really amazing.
Thank you.
I think and I hope it will happen in the near future. Hopefully, finger crossed. Yeah, I wanted to ask first about one of your teacher and masters who is also really popular in Poland. This person, I think it's quite important for you. It's Zohar Fresco. It is popular in Poland thanks to cooperation with pianist Leszek Możdżer, but not only.
Yes. Well, what can I say? He was my first and main percussion teacher. I started to play in a very late age. I started to learn only when I was 23. When I was studying acting, I would skip a few lessons, take the train to Zohar. And so he really took me from a place that I didn't know anything about rhythm, about how to play. And patiently, step by step, for about 3.5 years, he really taught me a lot, and I'm grateful for him forever for that.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about you and about your music. And I want to ask you about your beginnings, because as you said, they are not usual. I mean, what's interesting is that you haven't been involved in music since childhood. You start in your 20s, like you said, 23. So it's quite late, I think, in music, especially in music area. Until then, you studied in drama school, yeah. So it's unusual.
Yes, it's very unusual. Wow, it's a mystery for me. I met for the first time this drum, not this specifically, but the frame drum was on my wall as a decoration for many years. My parents bought it maybe 40 years ago in some flea market, and I never played it. I was always attracted to rhythm, but very, very amateurly, was just a hobby. And theater and acting was what I really did. And only when I was in the early 20s, it's when I started to really practice a bit. When I was studying the acting, I decided, okay, let's try to practice 10 minutes a day on the drum. And I tried to reach out to Zohar that he will teach me, and eventually he did. And then I started to live a double life in my acting studio. I would come very early in the morning before everybody comes with the cleaner, and I would take the drum inside the room and practice for 2 hours before everybody comes and in the break. And only when I graduated, when I was 25 years old, when I graduated drama school, I left everything. I left, I didn't go to auditions, I didn't do anything. I left Tel Aviv, the city where I was studying, and I moved back to my village in the north of Israel. It's where I grew up. I grew up in an olive field farm, olive trees farm. And because I started to play so late, I felt I had to really, really give everything for it. I would wake up in the sunrise and practice until sunset every day, day after day, year after year. It's what I do for the past 12 years. And it was always a combination of also this question, why am I doing this? How is this something? Where did this come from? And also at the same time knowing that I don't have any choice. This is my path. This is my destiny. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know why, how it is. It's just a feeling that a person recognizes inside. And I decided to jump from the cliff into the unknown and just go without knowing how I will perform, how I will have any money, how I will do anything. And slowly, life presented itself year after year, a bit more. And after like 5 years, it's the first time that I started to write songs. It was very unexpected for me. And I think in the perspective of already a bit more than a decade about that, I realized that music, at least at the first chapter, if I can call it at the first chapter now, was a way for me to heal different things that I went through in my life. It was a way for me to touch certain elements that were very important for me. Passing the death generally, the circle of life, birth and death and love. And, it's what is on everybody's mind, on everybody's heart. But for me, I think in a way, I had to go into this path. Music took me into this path to reach touching those subjects from the point of view of music. In my studio, day after day, crying and singing for myself. Very strong moments of self healing, regardless of the audience. Of course, the audience is very important. In our concerts with my quintet, I'm very blessed to play with very both brilliant and also sensitive musicians. And it's in our concerts, it's like a ceremony. We say like a prayer in the beginning of the concert for everybody in the audience. We try to get the concentration and offer the music to the healing of everybody who needs it in the room, in his house, both physically and emotional offering. Yeah.
Back into your 20s, I imagine it was really, really difficult to start completely new stuff when you have to start something difficult from beginning. Also, all this technical stuff, which in music it's quite difficult for all musicians. So I think it could be really, really stressful.
Yes, more than that, music was the first thing, playing was the first thing that I really felt that I'm bad. I felt I don't have talent in this. And until then, it was everything I tried to do, okay, it was easy. The acting, I was lucky to get accepted to a very, very prestigious school in Israel. And it came natural for me, and nothing about playing music came natural. It felt like to me all the time like I'm carving into diamond, but also in the same time feeling I don't know why this, I'm not good at this, but I have to do it. And the process was and still is challenging. Then it was much more, because it was, like you said, it was absolutely new and in the middle of, like, this is where I need to look for a job already if I'm studying law or whatever. And I went to my village. I left all my friends in the city. I went back to the village. They could be like 5 days that I don't talk to anybody except my mother, who gave me roof and food to practice. It was a really full immersion into this process, for the good and also for the difficulties. It came with also big challenges, like you said, and also strong moments of grace. It's a combination.
Actually, you just said that acting was like quite natural for you. That's why you decided to quit it. It's really amazing. But I wonder what important and precious did you get from this acting drama school, and you use now in music?
So much. Firstly, I had the privilege to study acting under really big masters. Nisan Nativi, who is the head of my school, he passed away when I was in the third year. He was in his 80s, and that's what he did all his life. And to sit and study with such teachers was a very big gift for me. I think I approach music as a composer, as a songwriter, as a composer. I approach music really, really like an actor, because I'm immediately drawn to, however abstract it is, to a story. What is happening here? Who is this about? It doesn't necessarily have to have an answer, but it needs to have a feeling. What is this emotion? What is this texture of the music? Is it dark? Is it light? Is it? I'm searching for what is beyond the scales and the notes and the rhythmic patterns. I'm looking for what is beyond that, and acting taught me so much about that, and also about performance. Because for 3 years you work 9 hours a day about being present on stage, about being able to listen to your partner, about self-expression, about technique, about movement, about dance, about coordination, many things that are really relevant. Acting and music and dance are the 3 forms of arts that are happening now, in the present moment, in front of the audience. So there were moments that I felt when I just finished the acting studio, that I would feel a bit frustrated. Why did I waste 3 years of my life studying acting? I could have studied in a music academy. But it's not true, because it's part of what defines me, and I wouldn't replace it for the world.
Okay, we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but now I think it's time to watch something, and maybe we can watch one of your pieces from last CD called Naomi, and this piece is One Day. I don't know, maybe you want to introduce us to this part of your music.
Yes, well, Naomi is the title song of my second album. And it's a really good example of the process, of the creative process. I will say it shortly. It started when my pianist and co-producer, musical producer that I'm working with, Orel Oshrat, he sent me a piano melody that he composed like 2 years before, and he said, maybe you like it. And I started to listen to it many times. I don't know, maybe 100 times. And what happened in that moment, when I'm listening more and more, is that I started to vision a woman in my mind. And normally for me, those moments when you're listening and intuitive visions come to your mind, for me, it's a very, very important moment, and I try to take them to listen to them. And it started a process, and eventually, this woman I looked into. I was very interested. What am I seeing here? What is this feeling that I'm getting? And it led me to a play, a very famous play. And the story about Naomi. Naomi is a woman that gives up her life basically to her partner. She sacrifices herself by going to be a slave, to work hard for 12 years, to give money to her husband who wants to become, to go to travel the world and play music as a violin player. And it's a ballad for her and for her destiny, because he forgets about her. And she in a way sacrifices her dreams for him. And it's also a ballad for generations of women, who had to give up their own dreams. And every famous male figure you have in the history of the world had a woman behind him that also had her dreams and also had her ambitions, and we don't know anything about them because they had to stay at home and clean and make the food and blah blah. And it's also on a personal level, it was also a thank you song for my mother. My father, he passed away when I was 9 years old, and I have 3 more brothers. And my mother, she's a poet. And in the time after he passed away, she continued writing a bit, but she had to really put that aside in order to go and work, to provide for me and my brothers, to give us food, to send us to university. And only when each one of us was settled on his feet and was cared for, she got back to writing 20 years after. And so this was like a present, a gift for her, telling her, I acknowledge that it would not be possible at all without your contribution, without your effort, without your sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. So you are a real feminist.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I believe in total equality in every aspect that could be imagined. Total equality.
But all this music is about love and suffer.
The song itself, well, yes, it's about a woman that is in
all CD or just this song.
Well, this song is about. Well, it's about this. Yeah, it's a ballad about we follow her the night before he's supposed to come back after 12 years. We follow her, and she's so excited, and until she discovers he's not coming, and she gets crushed. And one day, for example, the next song we're going to hear is about. It's a prayer for myself. It's about me traveling the world and running from stage to stage, from country to country, feeling that, asking myself if this is really my dream, if this is really, it's like a prayer for me to find the strength to ask what is true for me, what is real for me, what is like feeling sometimes that I'm lost in this image of what is success in art and blah blah blah, and it's a prayer to take a break and to look. There's like a phrase, see the colors in the skies when the sun sets over the sea. I just want to return to simplicity. It's about wanting to take a step down from this, because I was flying like 180 days a year all over, performing with many people, and there was a voice inside of me that was starting to ask questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's check this One Day song.
One day I will stop this endless run, save myself from myself. My life is too important to be wasted on images. I'm addicted to images, there's nothing there. How can I ignore the fact that one day I will die? And I will ask myself, how could I? How could I be so blind, a slave to all of these lies? These phantom ambitions have taken over my life. I know love will be the only thing to hold when I die. So I've got to find the power to leave them all and open my eyes. See the colors in the skies when the sun sets over the sea. I just want to return to simplicity. Stop this endless run, save myself from myself. My life is too important to be wasted on images. I'm addicted to images, there's nothing there. How can I ignore the fact that one day I will die? And I will ask myself, how could I? How could I be so blind, a slave to all of these lies? These phantom ambitions have taken over my life. I know love will be the only thing to hold when I die. So I've got to find the power to leave them all and open my eyes. See the colors in the skies when the sun sets over the sea. I just want to return to simplicity.
Your art is not only music, I mean instrumental music, because as we saw, you are also singer. And also the text is usually very important to you. You attached great importance to words, and also
Yes.
sometimes you use also poems in your
Yes.
music, right?
Yes, yes. Firstly, I'm a son of two poets. My father, my late father was a poet, and my mother is a poet, and so it's a form of art that touches me deeply. And also coming from the acting studio, the words is your form of art. You know, this is what you work with. It's like the clay for a potter, and yeah. So I really like to read poetry, to get inspiration from big artists, to get some feeling, and sometimes it really connects to a way that I want to compose it. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes I have a melody that gives me a feeling, and I look for a poet. This is my cat. Yeah, cute one. I can have a melody, and then I will look for a poet that for a poem that will suit it. And I sing. I sing also, and I also have Tula Ben-Ari, which is an incredible singer that she's working with me. She's part of the quintet. She's singing and playing percussion with me.
It can be quite naive question, but what is your music about? Because some artists, some musicians say that their music is abstractive, or it's about the moment, about feelings during the concert, but in general it's really abstractive. But I think for you it's something more.
I think it's difficult to really say it in words, to define it, but I think prayer is a good word. A prayer also for what is beyond, for spirituality, also for just like a prayer for the souls of the people we lost, the loved ones that we lost, a prayer for courage in seeking truth. You know, I can tell you one thing that my music is not, and it's just because it's not what I bring. I have absolute respect to every form of music that people create in the world. My music is not cool. You know, it's not like, yeah. It's just because it's not what I am, you know, and it's a genuine attempt to voice out what it is to be me, and the things that I went through in my life, and how I see life, and how I want to live life in a way.
We can see a lot of instruments behind you, so maybe
Yes.
now you can say actually about your instruments, because it's a lot. It's not like just drum set.
Yes.
So maybe you can present something and maybe play something for us.
Yes, of course, sure. I have many drums behind me. You see just a little part of them. This drum over here, which you also saw me playing one day, it's called a frame drum. Actually, this drum is made by a Polish drum maker.
Wow, Polish drum.
Zelazek. Yes, and I love him, and I love his drums. And this drum is actually the oldest type of drum. This is the most primitive form of drum known to us in the history. It goes thousands of years back because it's just a frame of wood and skin. This wood here is actually black oak, and this is very, very ancient wood also. But it's this type of drum has been played in the region of the Middle East, the Mediterranean, Mesopotamia region for thousands of years in different mystical ceremonies, different religions. You can find archaeology, many drawings on the pyramid and statues and also in the Bible it appears. And there's an interesting thing about it, that it in ancient times it was associated with women, also with feminine energy. Yes, and the women will play it. Kuliko, bo, he wants to say something.
Or maybe he wants to sing with.
Maybe he wants to sing something. Yeah, and yeah, they would play. The women would play these drums in religious ceremonies. Just a second, maybe I need to take him out because you see his ear.
Hi, cat. Yo, so cute.
Okay, so this was actually the first drum that I learned how to play from Zohar, and maybe I will play for you a short improvisation on it.
Okay.
Okay, I will use the drum, and I have like a footbell from Africa on my foot, so maybe you will hear it a bit. Okay, let's do it.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to see a different one?
Oh, yeah, why
wait.
not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, whatever. We have
Yeah.
a lot. We don't.
Yeah.
We need to choose. Otherwise, we have to stay here all night. This one is a different one. It's called the rick. It's a Egyptian tambourine, and also I use it a lot in the concert, and it's one of my favorite ones. I'll just do a short improvisation. This drum is this rhythm I'm going to play. The thing about the music, also my music, and also generally rhythmically, there are many different rhythmic cycles and different rhythmic patterns. So the first solo I played was in 5 beats. Now I'm going to play something Balkan feel of 11 beats, and I'll improvise on the rick. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Thank you.
Really small instrument, but your fingers are.
A lot of sounds for that instrument.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You grow up in a multicultural society, and for sure it must have also influenced your music, you as a musician. Yeah.
Wow, definitely. You need to understand. For example, the school that I grew up, that I went to. I studied from 1st to 9th grade, a few different schools, but the people around me were families, children of families that came from Yemen, Morocco, Spain, Russia, Poland, South America. What am I missing? Whatever you want. United States. The synagogues. I grew up in a religious family, not very orthodox, but I used to go to synagogues. Yeah, and the singing in the synagogue was inspired by the different traditions. So a Yemen synagogue, the whole voicing, the whole singing together, the rhythms was influenced by Yemen, and the same for Moroccan and Spanish and Western European. And so you grow up in, and of course, Arabic in the Arab villages around me, and the muazzin, the rhythms, everything. You grow up in such a mix, which seems, it finds its way somehow mysteriously to become natural. It's not that you're feeling, whoa, I'm confused, I'm here. It all becomes a soundtrack of your life that is just happens to be very, very diverse. In my music, you'll find moments that are very, very influenced by modern jazz, European and New York, and also things that are very Ladino and like Southern Spanish, North African from the synagogues, and Indian from the rhythmic point of view. Many, many different cultures, and it's never a feeling of let's try to sound like New York or like whatever, Marrakesh. It's never about that for me. I'm not a tourist agency. It's just, this is the life, and these are the sounds and that went through me as I grew up, and that's why these are the sounds that come out of me now.
Mm-hmm. That's why your music is so rich. Your bio in your website is quite short and humble, but your music it's like really, really rich.
Thank you.
You are interested in actually traditional music from different cultures, different part of the world, as you said.
Yes.
Also because of childhood. You are interested in jazz, improvised music, and also I read somewhere that you also listen a lot electronical music in the past. So it's a lot of influences actually.
Yes, and they all take part in the creation. And also, I'm lucky to have been working together the last 2 CDs and also the next one that we will record soon. I've been working very closely with my friend and partner, Aurel, the pianist. And it has been an amazing journey of a dialogue, an amazing dialogue. And he has his own background. His family is part of his family is from Baghdad, from Iraq. This is so it's an endless mixture, and I hope it just continues. This is what I tell him. This is what I'm telling my band all the time. Please stay. Please continue playing the music with me, because like every single musician in this band is not only like one of the top musicians in the country in every field, but they're really each one is an artist by his own. He writes his own music, he performs, and sings singer-songwriters or instrumental music, and it brings a lot of richness and also good friendship, simplicity, open heart, and it's so important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said something about your third CD.
Yes.
And I proposed you earlier to watch one of your pieces, Almach, and you say that it's actually pieces that you will record on this CD. So maybe,
Yes.
we will listen and watch these pieces.
Alma is a Balkan Macedonian melody that Tula, our singer, she wrote lyrics to, And then she brought it, and she did an arrangement, and then we took the arrangement and we rearranged it to our group. And this will be the first time that in my CD it will be a song that I didn't write, that one of the band did, but it was because we're performing it for like 2 years, and we really got connected to it. So I was very, very happy when Tula offered me if we can put her song. And so this is actually lyrics that she wrote to a Macedonian melody.
Okay, so let's check it out. Also, I noticed on this recording that the singer act like flamenco. Yeah, she
Yes.
used like flamenco rhythm or something, like she
Yeah,
clapped.
she used palmas,
Yeah.
palmas.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, palmas,
Well, Tula lived in Spain for, I think, almost 10 years. She lived in Barcelona and she sings flamenco. She of course, was exposed a lot.
Yeah, we can hear
And
it on
it's
this
really,
recording.
yes. That's why, and she has such strong groove and such strong, that's why it was so obvious to me that should be part of the band, because she's an amazing singer, but also she completes my percussion. You know, the rhythms that we play are not easy. And to find a singer that also can sing and also play percussion at the same time, challenging grooves, it's a big blessing for me. I'm very lucky.
I wanted to ask you about how your music is created. I mean, it's more like craft job, or it's a inspiration moment of inspiration, and also first it's a rhythm, or maybe some melody, or maybe a poem that you discover, or some words.
On a principle level, it's a craft. It means that only for myself, I don't want to speak generally, okay? But for me, I don't believe in waiting for the muse to come down and someday touch me. I go into the studio and I start to work, and I start, if I feel, okay, now I want to make a song. It doesn't matter if I feel inspired. It doesn't matter if I have an idea or not. I go to the studio and I take myself to somewhere that is new to me. I bring myself to a new place. And I have an easy tool for me, because every moment I can play a new rhythm. I can access a mode of search, of creativity very easily. It doesn't mean that a song will come every time that I try, but I believe that I don't need to wait for any moment of inspiration. I need to bring the inspiration down to me by every day going into it, into the zone, into like bringing it down to me. And practically speaking about the songs, I think probably half of them started from, or maybe more, started from grooves that I would play, and I would explore them. Once I feel that something feels good to me, then I can sing. I can sing for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, half a day. Just sing, improvise on the melody, on the groove. What is this feeling of this groove? What is bringing me? A lot of things that I learned in the acting studio, a lot of methods coming down to me. And I listen to the body, to the sensations. When I hear this groove, what does it make my body feel? Am I feeling darkness? Am I feeling power? Am I feeling weakness? Whatever different sensations that start to lead me step by step. It's like sculpting or carving into unknown, bringing dust out of something that exists. Every time it's like, okay, it's here. I can feel something and I'm bringing it out of the unknown. And some of them actually also started, there was one that started from a melody that we will record on the third album. It was a very interesting day. It was the day that my grandmother, the mother of my mother, she passed away. And it was the first time that a melody came to me like that. I know that there is this saying, I was sleeping or whatever, and suddenly a melody came. So I was driving, and a melody came to me on that day, and I got home. And when I got home, my mother gave me a gift, her poetry book, a new poetry book. So it was this, and in that day, her mother passed away a few hours later. And it was like a 3-generation day, you know? And this was started as a melody, and then I did a groove, and then I found the text. And sometimes it could be a text, you know, but normally it starts with a rhythm.
At the end, please tell me, because I can see that you treat music really, your profession really, really serious. And to be a musician, it's a huge privilege, for sure, but it's also responsibility. right? Also,
Yes.
you are a teacher,
Yes.
not only musician, but
It's a response. Firstly, I agree with you. To be a teacher is a big responsibility. I'm lucky to teach in different academies in Israel and to teach private students and master classes around the world. And I think the first thing that is, I am a student all the time. I take lessons all the time from teachers. I'm all the time I'm taking lessons. I have homework all the time. And also the experience of being a student with Zohar and also other teachers after him was so strong for me that I felt that it's something that I want to give also. And it's something that also to study with masters gives you also humility, humility, or whatever the word should be, modesty in a way, to stand in front of the masters puts you in place. And it also is also responsibility, because if I want to teach, I need to bring the same dedication, the same state of mind, the same approach like my teachers did. And because I studied with the masters, I feel that I need to bring to my students the same approach, my approach, but the approach that is similar in terms of the dedication to the art, many fields in the human existence with modern times are becoming instant. Many forms of jobs are not relevant anymore, and many types of art are becoming very, very commercial. And for me, I feel importance that the voice of the ancient voice of art, the ceremony, the sacred of the art, to be in a way, in my own small way, to keep it alive, this torch of the thousands of years of people who dedicated their lives and who saw this thing that they're doing as a very, very important, for them, sacred thing. And this is what I try to do, and I try also not to be ashamed of it, in a way.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yshai, thank you for this meeting and for
Thank
your
you, Mary. Thank you so
presentation.
much.
And
you.
I remind everyone that Yshai Afterman was supposed to play his first concert with the quintet in Poland, in Dworek Białoprądnicki, but it will not happen, unfortunately. But Krakow is waiting for you, really. We are waiting for you. Hopefully we will meet in the near future, maybe next year, when the situation will be better. And we are looking forward to hearing you here during the live concert. So we are more than welcome to Krakow.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward. There's already a talk about the future, when it will happen, and we are already talking about it, and I really can't wait, and let's do it. Let's do it.
Maybe you can give us some short improvisation at the end. What do you say about it?
Yes. Let's do this one. Another drum. 1 second.
Yeah.
This is called it's called a darbuka, and this is a much louder instrument. So I'm going to go backwards a bit. And it's used, it's of course very popular in Arabic tradition, in Arabic weddings and dance, and in Turkey also. And I'm playing a short improvisation. Okay.
Thank you.
With pleasure.
Thank you, and see you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.